And we're back. Episode 3 of the Fracture and Alterac Valley reviews. We've got a lot more cards this time, but also we have someone new. This is not Taco that I have with me today. It's actually Avri, hater of Rogue.
Most people watching already probably know who I am. So.
Yeah, you're from the Discord. Introduce yourself anyway, though.
Yeah, hi, I'm Avri. Um, I'm I mod on the Hearthstone Discord. That's about all you need to know about me.
Hater of Rogue. I think most people know you for hating Rogue. That's what I think. Or like liking Priest. Those are the two things that people know you for.
I don't hate Rogue.
Yes, you do. Yes, you clearly do. But anyway, whatever. Um, so yeah, just some minor housekeeping. Just taking a tally of what each class, how many cards each class has gotten. You can see all the cards on screen right now. These are the ones down here that we intend to review or go over today and kind of tier. Um, this tier list is going to end up having a mix of like Avery, Taco, and my opinions, so it's not really going to represent any of our opinions pretty like accurately. But it's gonna we generally agree on cards, so I don't think that we'll all any of us will find it too egregiously off. Um, yeah, but if you take account of all of the cards that each class has gotten, Demon Hunter has 6, Druid has 5, and Hunter has 5, and everyone else is just 4 and under. So we kind of see that Demon Hunter's kind of been fleshed out already, and after we review the cards today, we'll kind of have a pretty general and good idea of what Demon Hunter's going to do. Same with Druid and Hunter, not so much with anyone else. So we're still kind of in this confused phase where we don't really know what any of the classes are doing, except Demon Hunter, and maybe a little bit of Druid and Hunter. But that's why we'll stay with this very general rating system. Just going over it again so that you kind of have an idea of what like each of these are. You can kind of think of it as 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, 2-star, 1-star. But in terms of potential, that is. So good is something that we think that we'll see play like right now. Like if you printed the card right now, it would just go straight into a deck, and then assuming that all the decks from now carry over into the new expansion, said card would see play. Okay, good is something that is just individually strong. We see a lot of potential in it, but probably it needs some more support, or it needs a deck around it to form. Okay is like, oh, we just need some more support from the expansion. Like you're convinced it's like decent, but probably it can't stand on its own. Okay, bad is just like maybe it's reasonable that the card would one day see play, but maybe it needs like a lot of support, and you're not even convinced that this expansion itself holds that support or could hold that support. And then meme and pack fill is just like this will never see play. This is just hilariously bad, or this is not likely to see play. It's just pack filler. Make sense?
Yeah,
Okay. And then if anything, we'll just talk it out, and then we'll figure out how to tier it. Um,
yeah.
Ideally, we come to a compromise. Um, but you're free to fight me as much as you want, and like get
Which is what I'm
whatever
here to
rating you
do.
want.
Which is what I'm here to do.
Perfect.
I'm here to fight you on your own show.
That's fine. That's fine. Tacos fought me a few times. But yeah, let's move on to the cards. The first few cards I decided to rate are we got 3 hero cards, which hero cards are damn exciting. So I just decided to stick them right at the beginning of the episode. The first card we've got is Dreadlich Tamsin, 6 mana hero card for
Yeah.
Warlock. Tamsin's actually like seriously dead, and now she's like a skeleton in this hero card. And the battle cry is to deal 3 damage to all minions, shuffle 3 rifts into your deck, and then draw 3 cards. So these rifts are cast when drawn, summon a 3/3 Dread Imp. So I'm kind of looking at this and thinking like these rifts are basically Mankrik, and I've got an overall okay rating of this card. I think it's right smack in the middle.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a generally good card. It's like not hurting you unless you're like a Reno deck in Wild. But another thing is that this does remove the quote unquote downside of life tap, which is dealing 2 damage to your
Oh yeah, that's
hero.
right. I do have to go over the hero power. True, true, true. Um, 2 mana hero power. Shuffle a rift into your deck and then draw a card. So these rifts again summon 3/3 imps. Yeah, it's a solid card. What I what I'm why I'm giving it the okay rating for, and why it's not just like good like the other two heroes we've seen so far. Why I'm giving it okay is it does a lot of different things and it does them all decently. But I think what it does, like the individual pieces of what it does, are very counterproductive to the other pieces. So
Yeah.
you've got these 3/3 imps, which make me think Zulok, right? This is a really strong refill tool for Zulok, this hero power. I mean, it's the Warlock hero power, basically. But instead of having the downside of dealing damage to you, you shuffle rifts into your deck, which can come out as 3/3s, right? So that's like a very powerful Zoo board refill, hand refill tool. But then you have this AoE, this 3 damage AoE to all minions. So it's partially also destroying your own board, which makes it difficult to come online if you're ahead, which is what Zoo wants to do. Because you don't want to destroy your own board while you're ahead, right? So,
Yeah.
and drawing 3 cards is great too for Zoo, of course. So I'm not sure how where this would fit. Do you think it would fit into some kind of control warlock or a Zoo warlock better? Every?
I'm thinking control.
Oh, so
She's a card on 6. And like I feel like even though she would promote like a longer running strategy for Zoo, I don't think infinite 3/3s is the way you're going to beat most opponents once they get to 6 and above.
true. I see. Yes. When you mentioned infinite 3/3s, I actually remembered something because Quest Paladin was basically infinite 3/3s, and that flopped really hard.
Mhm.
So maybe this isn't. Yeah, maybe you're right. This maybe isn't a Zoo card. I guess it's more. Yeah, you're right. Maybe this. Okay, so maybe this card is just like draw 3 cards is the main draw. Is the main like incentive to run this, but also the AOE. So you're AOEing the board. Okay, you know what? Let's try and break this down with mana. 3 damage AOE to all minions. That's
So
5 mana, 4 mana. Yeah, 4 mana. That's Fire Sale. And then draw
no,
three
yeah.
cards is
Uh, what's it called?
AI,
Backfire. 3.
but oh,
3
backfire.
3 4. Okay, technically 4 mana because if we count Backfire's downside, it like kind of fills
Yeah.
in for that
So it's kind
1
of
mana.
8 mana, and then the hero power upgrade. I don't value the hero power upgrade that much. So it's maybe
Yeah.
like 1 mana there. Oh, and then shuffle 3 rifts. So it's kind of like 2 mana. Is that what I? Yeah, I would call that 2 mana effect because we have gang up.
Yeah, it's a lot of bundling.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's not a good it's not really great bundling.
This is accurately priced. It's not too like so if we total up all those manas, it's 8 mana, and then 5 armor
Mhm.
is I'm not even gonna give that 1 mana's worth. It's gonna be like less than half of a mana's worth of. So yeah, it's close to 8 mana, but then if you counter like anti synergizes with its own idea, we can call it a seven
Yeah.
and a half mana. I'll deduct 1ish mana for that. So yeah, it's very fairly priced, and that's a big red flag to me at least. So how do you feel about putting it in like okay? I think you said that
Yeah,
right.
I'm good with okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this next card. Okay, I should just go from here. Next card is here.
Okay, the devil himself.
Do you want to read this card? And then
Shadowcrafter Scav's Battlecry. Return all minions to their owner's hand. Summon 2/4/2 shadows with stealth. The hero powers Sleight of Hand, which is basically preparation, but for literally every card and not just spells.
so it's a 0 mana. The next card, it's 0 mana. The next card you play
The
this
card you
turn
play
costs two
this.
less. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can go first.
Yeah, so this card's Vanish, but removing all the weaknesses Vanish. Uh, and we know Vanish as a card that was Hall of Famed because it was against Blizzard's design philosophy, and because it was a little bit strong. Uh, Now they've returned it in hero card form, which is better than rotating the spell again, I guess, because you can only play one copy, and well, Rogue doesn't really discover that many spells, but yeah. So this card is it again. It's a vanish, but removing every single thing, every single weakness that vanish had, which was because vanish is symmetrical. It removed your own tempo as well, but summoning these shadows itself that are hard to remove, it kind of removes that weakness. Also, with the hero power, this card essentially costs 5 and not 7.
Yeah. Rating? How do you feel about it?
I'm saying good.
Oh, straight up good. So you think it'll see play right now? What? I'm
Oh, yeah. Hmm.
I'm gonna assume you're thinking if you're saying it's good, you're thinking it's
Yeah,
in Quest Rogue.
not Questro. Because, because that is a deck that like already has its top end done, but I'm thinking this card could make a deck.
Yeah, but then it'd be more like okay, good, right?
Yeah,
Good
I
is
can
like
say
right
okay,
now.
good.
Like if you printed this card right now, it'll go straight into a deck. Maybe make it better.
Right now, no.
So I have an okay good rating for this card. I agree
Yeah,
with
okay, good.
basically everything you said. Um, yeah, biggest weak. I don't except I don't think Vanish was actually a good card in Rogue. It was just against Rogue card design, and also it was very unfun to play against. That's why they Hall of Famed it. So they Hall of
It
Famed
was
it more for
removed
like.
with Mind Blast.
Say again.
It was removed with Mind Blast. I consider both cards at a similar caliber for both
They are not a similar
classes.
caliber. It just was against what they had designed the design philosophy for Rogue at the time, and that was like 3 years ago. So it's a little weird that they went back on it, but I think it's more just like they don't want to be shackled down by the rules that like 3 years ago the team 3 years ago had implemented. So yeah, again, the biggest weakness is that Vanish is very expensive, and so you can't. It's really hard to develop next to it. But this actually develops all in one card, along with casting Vanish. So that's a huge, huge, huge upside. This card is definitely worth more than 7 mana in terms of what it actually does, because these 4/2 stealths are basically Jungle
3
Panthers.
mana.
So they're 3 mana, but Jungle Panther has never really actually seen play. So I'm gonna uh, I guess I'll evaluate them more as like 2.5 mana minions. So the summoning of these two 4/2 stealths is a 5 mana effect, and Vanish is certainly at least it's a 4 mana effect, I would say. So we're talking about a 9 mana card, and this hero power upgrade is definitely this hero power is really really good. Making Scabs
Yeah.
cost 5 when you play him, basically with sleight of hand, discounting your next card. That's a really strong effect for the turn you play him, but it's just a strong effect in general. Mana Cheat is very strong. We've known this across times. Generally, Mana Cheat cards have seen play at some point in their standard lifetimes.
Octobot
Yeah, Octobot.
being the most recent offender.
hmm So this is definitely coming close to a. If you bundle all the effects, it's coming close to a 10 mana effect. While this card costs like 7 mana instead. So definitely undercosted, definitely very strong. Everything it does, it synergizes with its the other
Yeah,
parts of what it does.
I could definitely see this getting a nerf in its lifetime.
I could buy that. But for now, but for now it's kind of tough to really imagine it being in any deck itself. Like a poison rogue wouldn't really run this. They're kind of killing you way before turn 7 ideally, or on turn 7 they're trying to actually do those last points of damage, or maybe cast Shadow Cloak of Shadows. The Manchi isn't really useful for that deck because generally it's really low curve anyway. Um, and a Quest Rogue would find it difficult to run this. They run the Battlegrounds Battlemaster as their finisher. So this could kind of be in Quest Rogue to do a board flip, but by the time that you're around the 7 mana point, you're actually playing Scabs and also playing
You
his
should, and
little gizmos.
you, you should be ahead by that point.
Yeah. So it's
If you're not,
tough.
you've already lost.
Yeah, of course vanishing your own scabs is really like sounds really good, but it's a 7/7 that you put back in your hand that you
It's
could have
also
just kept on the
five
field.
mana.
It's also 5 mana, yeah, so it's tough. Yeah, it's tough to really imagine this in Quest Rogue. It's tough to also imagine this in a Garrote Rogue. Now that is nerfed, it's especially tough. So overall, okay, good. Does that sound like a good rating? You said that, right?
Yeah.
Alrighty. So the last hero card we got revealed is Brukan of the Elements, an 8 mana Shaman hero card with Battlecry. Call upon the power of 2 elements, and the power of the elements, you can think of those as it's kind of like what was it called again? Oh, I have to refresh this. But it's like Calamos. Calamos was the thing.
Yeah, Calamus, yeah.
And what it so there's 4 options. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna pull up the Discord explanation for this instead. So right. So there's 4 options, and the 4 options are, man, that is small. Deal 2 damage to all enemy minions. So it's a one-sided board clear. Earth invocation is summon 2/2/3s with taunt, and they're elementals. So it's kind of like Feral Spirit without the overload. Fire invocation, which is to deal 6 damage to the enemy hero, which is kind of like a fireball, but I think I should equate this more to a Mind Blast, since it can't, since it
Yeah.
can only go face.
It yeah, it's more better Mind Blast,
And
yeah.
then restore 6 health to all friendly characters is kind of like Divine Hymn. Actually, it's exactly like
Yeah,
Divine
it's
Hymn.
divine. It's literally divine him.
Yeah. So, when you play Brukan, you will be given 4 discovery
E.
options.
Yeah.
You pick one of them, and then that gets removed from the options, and then you get to pick again. So you get to
Yeah.
choose only 2 of these options, and then let's see. His hero power rotates every turn, so it's just like Doctor Boom. And
Yeah.
then let's see. I think somewhere it said his hero power would be, yeah, and then your hero power becomes one of the other 2 options that you didn't choose. So there's a lot
Yeah.
moving. There's a lot going on in this card, but in reality, what it actually does is not quite
Is
that much, in my opinion.
yeah. It it's a card that sacrifices real power for extreme flexibility.
Yeah, yeah. Being able to pick 2 of these and kind of being able to evaluate the board before you make your final 2 selections allows you to really get the effect that does the most for the board state. But this is a lot of mana. It's 8 mana. There needs to be a lot of
It's like
power
man.
or some flexibility in this card for it to be really amazing. I've got it rated as okay bad. I don't think it's actually that good.
Yeah, I think it's okay at that.
Um, what did I want to say? Oh yeah, I wanted to actually evaluate how much mana each of these hero powers are. So I think the best one's Earth Invocation. It's the one that
It's
doesn't.
definitely Direwolf. Like Direwolf is a 3 mana overload card. So
Oh, Pharaoh Spirit.
overload
Yeah,
1. Yeah, fair. Why did I think Direwolf?
Direwolf is a 2/2.
Uh,
Avery.
why did I think
It's a classic
Direwolf?
2/2 neutral. But yeah, it's Feral Spirit. Hmm.
Yeah, Feral Spirit is like a 3 mana overload, 7/2 to like spirit moles. And this is basically that in hero power form. So this is like 4 mana, really.
Yeah, if you evaluate the mana costs, it's probably 4, maybe even 4.5 mana. But
Yeah,
I think it's the best one mainly because, well, because it's undercosted, but also because it's the one that's most likely to be good at any moment, like on any board state,
yeah,
on any on any random board, it'll be great. Which means on the hero power, it'll be great whenever you roll it. Um, it's defensive, because it has taunt. It summons a lot of stats, 4 attack for 2 mana. Like developing a 4 attack minion for 2 mana is really really good. Um, in terms of the exchange, and it's just stuff. Water Invocation, Divine Hymn is definitely 2 mana card. So we know that this is exactly priced, which isn't that thrilling. Actually, it's on a hero power.
yeah.
That's different.
It's
for
not a
spending a
hero
card.
power. You're not spending cards, so it's
Mhm.
much nicer to have than Divine Him.
Fire Invocation is a slightly better Mind Blast, so we also
Mm,
that is basically a card as well in hero power form. And Lightning Invocation is
is Condemn.
Condemn, but at rank 2. Is there any other? Breath of the
Yeah,
Infinite is what I would go for, but one-sided. So
yeah,
actually, this is also appropriately costed. So if you compare all of these hero powers to cards, they're all appropriately costed. So it's really tough to call this card bad straight up. I'm definitely leaning more on the okay side, but I will still give it an okay bad rating.
yeah.
Um, just because I don't know what shaman is going to be good, but the ones
It's
that
just a
we've
little too inconsistent to be uh, good on the first look.
yeah,
Um, it really depends on how this card plays to see how it would truly perform.
I'm open to
Because
being
this is
wrong
all
about this card.
theory right now.
Yeah, I'm open to being wrong about this card though. It still does quite a lot. How would you feel
Yeah,
about moving into okay territory? Because it's not exactly the best hero, but it's still a hero card. And
yeah,
it's doing reasonable things. I mean, your hero power turning into a card, like an actual card, is pretty strong. And there is probably a reason they randomized it. No, it's probably okay,
yeah,
bad. Because the thing is, it's gonna end up like Malfurion, where
yeah,
Malfurion the Pestilent, which is the druid hero from Knights of the Frozen Throne, it was like a reasonable card, but the reason why it saw play was because there was just a powerful druid shell around it. So Shaman's going to require
yeah,
a very powerful Shaman shell around it before Brucon of the Elements can see play. And currently
yeah,
Shaman is arguably the second worst class after possibly Mage. So it's really tough to say that they'll get anything like a strong package. And yeah, but anything can happen. Shaman's only got 3 cards revealed, so there's plenty of room for Brucana of the Elements to see play, and I hope it does because hero cards are exciting. Okay, Sacrificial Summoner. This is yours.
Sacrificial Summoner kind of meh for me,
Oh,
because it's not really a real mana cheat.
read what it does.
Hmm?
Read what it does.
Oh yeah, Sacrificial Summoner, Battle Cry, destroy a friendly minion, summon minion from your deck. It costs one more, so it's basically kill a
I'm
minion
gonna have
on
to,
your
Avery,
board
hold up.
and then
I'm gonna
hmm?
have to edit this out, but you didn't even mention the stats or where it's from. Like, I don't think you said Warlock. You gotta be like 3 mana 3/3 Warlock and then Battle Cry stats and then Battle Cry.
Yeah, Sacrificial Summoner, 3/3 Warlock card, Battle Cry, destroy friendly minion,
You forgot the mana.
destroy.
You forgot the mana. You said three. You had 3/3 Battle Cry.
We
Oh
need a
my god.
blooper reel at this point.
I could leave this in, but you should try from the top. Try from the top. Just go ahead.
Yeah. Sacrificial Summoner, 3 mana, 3/3, Battle Cry, summon a friendly minion, summon a minion from your deck that costs one more. So it's basically
You
kill a
forgot
minion.
Warlock Minion.
It's a Warlock
You forgot
minion.
to say Warlock.
I was gonna add that
Uh,
later,
okay, yeah,
but
no, that's fair. Uh, for any
yeah.
listeners, we had the blooper reel this like 4 times already. So I'm gonna run with this one. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it makes it's basically it kills a minion on your board, so it's anti tempo on that side, but it does it's basically evolve that you can choose.
Hmm.
You can think of this as evolve, but you can choose the evolved targets.
True. What's your rating on this one?
It's really meh for me. Uh,
So like okay bad
I
is what I
yeah,
have
okay,
for this.
bad. I don't know where this would fit.
Yeah, this is certain. What it does is kind of fair, isn't it? When you compare it to Evolve, I just realized
Yeah,
it's not that amazing. But so I guess the kind of incentive to run this over Evolve is that it can choose. But it's not Evolve because Evolve evolves your entire board and this just evolves one minion. So it's actually Mutate is what we should compare this to.
yeah.
which is I should
Oh,
definitely have
I
this.
was just thinking. I was just saying, evolve is like the general term of
Oh, as a
transform one
transform,
minion.
yeah, as a transform effect, but it's actually exactly mutate. Yeah, this shaman card transform a friendly minion into a random one that costs one more. Yeah, but instead of being
Oh,
random, it is targeted. It's just so it's okay. It's probably accurately costed at 3. This effect doesn't seem that
yeah,
egregiously powerful for a 3. It doesn't seem like that egregiously powerful an effect because you do have to sacrifice something on your board. So just because it's so fairly costed, this is probably not a great card. I can actually
yeah,
probably say that already. What it does, what the strongest thing it can do, is activate a death rattle and also pull a minion from your deck. So we'd probably
yeah.
be looking for a good warlock death rattle moving forward, to maybe consider this. But also you'd also have to have a good card at +1 mana to that warlock death rattle. So yeah, we're as I kind of talked it out, it does kind of require quite a lot of things to happen before it can actually be seen as a playable card, and that's exactly the criteria to be an okay bad card.
Okay.
I think that was a very easy evaluation because this one's just fair.
Yeah.
Not much going on with this card. Okay. On the contrary, we've got Tamsin's Phylactery, a the
Yeah.
other Warlock legendary. So both Warlock legendaries have been revealed so far. The other one being the hero. Tamsin's Phylactery is a 4 mana Warlock legendary spell. Discover a friendly Death Rattle minion that died this game. Give your minions its Death Rattle. This is a shadow spell. I'm not sure if that matters at all, but it
Yeah.
might matter for Tamsin, the hero, the legendary card, the legendary from Forge and the Barrens. So I have this card at okay. Like I'm just okay about it. I think it's straight down the middle.
I don't. Okay, here's the thing. I don't know. I don't know about it because it's a card that says it wants a zoo strategy with giving all your minions a death rattle, but there's not really a zoo death rattle
Yeah,
at
exactly.
this point.
There is one. It's Cabal Outfitter, but it's not really that exciting
Yeah.
of a.
Oh, I thought we were gonna talk about like the ooze from Wheeling Caverns.
Yeah, Devouring Ectoplasm. Yeah,
Yeah,
that is another one. Devouring Ectoplasm. Devouring Swarm
you're
is not
gonna
Devouring
get
Ectoplasm.
plague.
Yeah. It's definitely best in. I can't really think of an. Okay, there are definitely multiple applications for it, but the best one, the one that synergizes with the most, is probably some kind of warlock that goes wide. Not necessarily a zoo warlock, but something that goes wide. So you can do like a cute 2 card combo with this in Wicked Shipment, or like Fiendish
This
Circle.
also kind of synergizes with Tamsin, I guess.
You can play it
Like
twice,
the
yeah.
hero.
Oh, the hero?
No,
Oh yeah,
I
the
mean
three.
the
Oh, the
hero.
little 3/3 imps. Yeah, they don't really come down as a wide idea though, because when you tap, when you press your hero power with Tamsin Hero, they come out like one at a time. It's very slow. Like they don't come out like all in one go and one burst. It's just like whenever you hit those riffs.
Yeah.
I guess if your deck is super thin, you'll hit the riffs all in one go. But if you hit the rift every time, then you're just gonna get like a slow dribble of 3/3s. I think the most likely combination of this is probably gonna be like Wicked Shipment or Fiendish Circle. Those are cards that no
Yeah.
Warlock has even attempted to run except for Zoo Warlock. Mainly because they're just not really good cards outside of specifically Zoo Warlock and Ritual of Doom activation. But I mentioned Ritual of Doom here because Ritual of Doom is a very good card to land onto Death Rattle minions. So there's a really strong synergy here with Tamsin's Phylactery and Zoo Warlock, but Zoo Warlock is currently, I believe, a tier 4 performing deck, and there is no like actual good, like amazing Death Rattle that we can play for Tamsin's
Yeah.
Phylactery. Ideally, I think you would want multiple, just so you can kind of have a choice as soon as you play the Phylactery. So it's kind of a few things that need to happen before Phylactery is actually like playable, but I think it's actually a really really strong effect. Cheating out like multiple death rattles onto really small imps that can activate them. um, is I believe a very strong idea.
Yeah. Um,
How would you rate this?
I, th- I'm saying okay bad at this point.
You think it's okay, bad?
It
Hmm.
really needs a lot of things to happen to be very playable.
So Warlock's got 4 cards revealed so far, so it does have quite a lot more. It doesn't have, it does it. One of the epics has already been revealed, and both legendaries have been revealed. So
Yeah.
a unique effect needs to be printed for this for sure. A strong and unique effect probably. Ideally, the other epic would need to be a okay. You know what? I can go down. I can go down to okay bad for you. Um, Mainly because I just don't. I see that we've got a lot of the unique and higher level rarity cards already shown for Warlock. So,
Yeah.
Nerubian Egg. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. I wanted to go over that before we moved on. Death Rattle. Warlock Death Rattle is currently Cabal Outfitter. Yeah, I saw this. Cabal Outfitter seems to be the strongest. Camera that is probably not what you want to put into your deck. Although that is a really strong endgame engine. 8 mana and onward. But oh, you're
Yeah.
summoning a bunch of imps anyway, so this is not a good Death Rattle
Not a good bit. Yeah.
for Phylactery. Bone Web Egg is probably not a good Phylactery Death Rattle. I mean, it
Yeah.
replaces your board, but no, I don't think it's that good. Envoy Rustwix is a huge value engine. This is what most people were thinking about right away. They had an idea with Envoy Rustwix kind of giving you infinite primes to kind of like you can curve out into the primes, but the primes really suck when
Yeah.
like 4 mana. So yeah, they're kind of generally not always synergistic with your game plan, but also
Yeah.
you have to play Rust. You actually have to put Rustwix in play as a zoo deck, and that is very very
Yeah.
difficult.
You also have to play the primes.
You have to actually invest mana into the primes as well. Yeah. Um, let's see here. Yeah, maybe like Loot Hoarder is not a good. Nah, that's not a good zoo minion. Hasn't been one in a long time. Nerubian Egg, yeah, that's the one I think is the most likely to see play, like a Nerubian Egg, and you kind of refill your board by turning your imps into 4/4s. That's actually not even that bad of an idea, and you could definitely put Nerubian Egg into play. Ritual of Doom onto a Nerubian Egg, that would be really good.
Yeah.
You know what? Can I convince you upward for that? Just the Nerubian Egg? I think that's reasonable. That's actually a reasonable combination. Hello.
It's a lot slower than Gandling.
Say again.
Lot-
A lot slower than Gandling.
It's a lot slower than Gandling.
It's also the deck itself is more on board before the Gandling turn.
Mm,
Okay, you don't seem to be biting.
yeah.
Okay, we can leave it there. I'm definitely more positive on this one now. I'm in the okay region, but let's move on. No point in staying there. Next one. So I gave you the other rogue card because I know you want to rip through it. You want to rip rogue a new one. Go ahead.
Forsaken Lieutenant, 2 mana 2/2 rogue card, stealth after you play a Death Rattle minion, become a 2/2 copy of it with a rush. I actually really do like this card. It's you have to play it with foresight, and it does limit what you can play after it because it will transform immediately. So it kind of encourages an earlier Death Rattle type rogue, which we haven't seen we've seen the support for, but we haven't seen the death rattle pieces for. It's a really interesting one, but not seeing the pieces and also this not fitting into any current archetype, I'm leaning more towards okay and okay bad for this card.
I think that this card is really strong. I think it's an okay good card actually, and I let me try and convince you. Um, Death Rattle Rogue has gotten egregiously strong support throughout. Let me actually just look up Death Rattle. We can reference this. It has gotten so many Death Rattle cards. Sketchy Information, Counterfeit Blade. It has the new Snowfall Graveyard that we reviewed earlier in other episodes. These are just strong, super, super strong Death Rattle support cards. And let's see. It preemptively cheats the Death Rattle out. And it being stealth makes it really hard
Yeah.
to interact with from the opponent. It being stealth also lets you run Sage, Greyheart Sage, as a draw engine for the Death Rattle Rogue. It being stealth means that it can also get in that 2 chip damage into your opponent's face before also transforming into the Rush, to the copy of the Rush Death Rattle minion with Rush. So it does everything that Rogue really wants. It saves mana on the Death Rattle trigger. You can play a really strong Death Rattle at the turn after. It gets the chip damage in. It has, I mean, everything about it is just so good with what Rogue has currently available, except that Death Rattle. So, it curving right into Ticketmaster is a really big boon for this card. Definitely a big bonus. Um, I was also thinking Devouring Ectoplasm is reasonable. That is a Death Rattle that has seen play in the other tempo-y Death Rattle deck of Death Rattle Demon Hunter. So I'm really, really positive on this card, and I think it's very okay. It's very much in the realm of okay good. I just think it needs to
I
see,
can
we
see
just
it.
need to see a Death Rattle. That's it. So I'm not, and definitely it's an individually strong card. Could I convince you upward for that?
Yeah.
So how upward? Because you said okay bad, right? So are we going just okay,
No,
or
I
can I?
said okay. No, no, I was leaning towards
Okay,
okay.
then sweet. I'm a
Okay,
landing
bad.
okay good. I think this card has a lot of potential. This is the type of card that would break the archetype. It just needs, it literally just needs the Death Rattle. And unlike Snowfall Graveyard, which I have at okay, this one actually has a body, so it's not really doing, like, it can be, it's, you're always gonna be doing something with it. You can, in the later turns, you can go Lieutenant plus Death Rattle, and that's already pretty strong. Like if you just play it next to a Nerubian Egg, you get a 4/4. You get, okay, you get a 2/2 egg that you could probably sacrifice into something to get a 4/4, and you have triggered the Death Rattle. Therefore, Snowfall Graveyard could give you potentially 2/8/8s. Really, really strong card. I'm really, really happy for this one. Again, just need to see that Death Rattle. So next card is Snowball Fight, which is a 3 mana Frost spell for Shaman, which is actually relevant because they have that legendary that rewards you for playing multiple Frost spells. And what it does is deal 1 damage to a minion and freeze it. If it survives, repeat this, but on another minion. So the animation from the reveal stream showed that you can target this, of course, and then afterwards it's kind of like a snowball fight. So the minion you target throws a snowball, and then that minion that hits it with the snowball throws another snowball. So it's kind of just like a back and forth between all the minions on the field, and then it stops when something dies. And I really like the flavor of this card. I think it's really, really awesome. It looks crazy awesome when you watch the reveal stream for it. And I
Yeah.
have it personally rated as a good card, actually.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I could see this in good. You can just slot this into a quest shaman.
Yeah, this is a frost spell for Quest Shaman, which is actually relevant. It is multicaster for multicaster. Shaman has currently no frost spells in standard that they can run, and this is definitely a runnable frost spell. It's very defensive. It's not perpetual flame, but what if you think about it like okay, so every minion has an equal chance of being hit at least once. So there's a good chance that this is actually a Frost Nova style effect instead of Perpetual Flame effect. So definitely a good stalling tool. Um, on average, everything
Yeah.
should be hit once before something dies. If you play on a board without 1 health minions, so it's not quite always Frost Nova, but it does remind me of Frost Nova, and Frost Nova is really strong. And for a deck that's aiming to stall, Frost Nova with the potential to clear is really strong. So yeah, I'm really, really high on this one for a Quest Shaman especially. Anything else to say, or is it just a simple that?
Yeah, I think it's just good.
Mm-hmm. Where
I
is it?
don't really have a lot of opinions on Snowball. It's the first one.
Yep. What else can I could cut this part out later, but I guess I just wanted to think about what else I could say about it. I think I said everything. Okay, flavor. Yeah. Oh, at base it's Frost Shock, which is not exactly exciting,
Yeah.
but I mean you never aim this at a 1 health minion. You never do. Because you expect the 1 health minion to die eventually. So it's at
Yes.
base not Frost Shock. At base it's more like, okay, so it's basically more like 2 Frost Shocks. Guaranteed it's 2
It's
Frost
more like
Shocks.
that one mage called Cold.
Cone of Cold. Yeah, it is Cone of Cold. It's Cone of Cold. It's Cone of Cold, but for Shaman that actually cares about this tag. This spell tribe. Spell school. Yeah, it's pretty safe to say this will be in Quest Shaman. Next card is over here. Build a snowman.
Bad. Bad.
This is the part where
Bad.
you read the card first.
Okay. 3 and a 3/3. Build a snowman. Summon a 3/3
Wait,
snowman that freezes
wait,
at it.
wait, what? You said 3 mana 3/3. It's not a 3 mana 3/3.
It's a 3 mana 3/3. Look
It's
at
a
it.
3 mana mage
Look at
spell.
it.
It's a 3 mana mage spell.
It also summons a 3 mana 3/3 snowman, Dara.
No, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
You can look at the token. It's literally 3 mana
Yeah, it is.
3/3. Yeah. Or it summons a 3 mana mage spell that build a snowman. Summon 3 mana 3/3 snowman that freezes. Build a snow brute to your hand. Build a snow brute is basically the same effect, but on a 6/6, and adds a snow ogre to your hand, which is a 9/9, but does not add a further upgrade to this card. This card is bad.
Uh, You think it straight up has no potential? I don't think I agree with straight up no potential. I think it's okay bad though. I think it requires quite a lot for this card to see play. It's clearly a very powerful value engine. It definitely reminds me right away of Pyros from a super long time ago.
Yeah.
But Pyros being this card for Mage. Oh, I don't have it. Pyros being this card. So Pyros is with 2/2 that Death Rattle returned as a 6/6, and then that 6/6 would Death Rattle return as a 10/10, and they would cost 6 and 10 respectively. So this being a spell that doesn't have a Death Rattle, that doesn't require the Death Rattle effect to go on to the next stage, is much stronger than Pyros. But Pyros wasn't really ever good, if I recall correctly. So it's tough for me to say that Build a Snowman will be good.
It
It's
was
just
good
kind of
elemental
fair at
filler.
every mana point that you play it at. 3 mana for a 3/3 snowman that freezes. I would roughly equate that to a 3 mana effect. Snow Brute, which is a 6 mana to make a 6/6. I would roughly equate to that effect for that mana cost. And Snowger being a 9/9 for 9 mana is also the same. So these are all just super fair at every stage. So it's really not a good tempo card. It's not really like reclaiming board. It's
Yeah.
not really a swing turn. Um, it's not really a board clear. So it's just how strong. Like it's just a value engine. Yeah, that's it. So
Yeah, it's too fair all around, is my opinion.
yeah.
I
So
see
it's
all
definitely
too much play.
yeah. It's definitely not on the higher. It's definitely not on the higher tiers for that reason. But if they print a big spell mage that can cheat a spell from your hand, having this Snowger, even cheating a 6/6 from hand, if it's cheap enough, if you can make it cheap enough, or you can get it out for cheap enough mana, this is not bad. And definitely cheating a 9/9 out for less mana is really really good. So I can see a world in which this sees play, but currently all of the big spell mage support like Deep Water Evoker. This is in standard. This is in
Dr-
the mini set. It
yeah,
draws a spell from your deck, and then it gains armor. And this card in your deck will be a 3 mana card. So it's not quite that thrilling with Deepwater Evoker and the Parrot, the Grey Sage Parrot. This is also not quite thrilling with Snowger, with the build a snowman, because you have to first
since
build a snowman.
you, yeah, you already would have had to play the card, and there's also the clumsy apprentice. I think it's
Oh
called
yeah, Clumsy
7 mana.
Courier. Oh, not Clussy. Clumsy. Clumsy Courier.
Yeah,
This
which
is
could, but it also lands at 7 mana.
Yeah, it lands a little too late, so it's not really like you're not really cheating these out early, and it's not really at a probably it's honestly not an impactful mana when you cheat it out at 7. This is probably the best card with it, but um if this is your largest spell in your hand, it's gonna be tough to really say that like if yeah, okay. You could use Clumsy Courier to cheat out the 9 mana Snowger on curve after you play
Yeah.
the Snow Brute, but it requires you to kind of invest mana. It kind of really locks you in on investing mana on the Snowman and then the Snow Brute so that you can get the Snowger. And maybe this 7 mana play is actually strong. It's a lot of stats, right? It's 13. It's like 13, 14 in stats, and 9 of which is
Yeah.
freezes.
Well, that freezes the
But I'm not sold on this idea. I don't think Clumsy Courier is a very
yeah.
strong card, and I don't think that Celestial Inkset is the other thing that cheats. Celestial Inkset. Celestial Inkset is the other thing that cheats big spells out. But this, I have so many issues with this card, and that was like, I took him
Yeah.
out like in the Stormwind episode, in the Stormwind reviews. This card is not good, and I
It's
doubt that it's
bad.
good moving forward. And also, yeah, Grey Sage Parrot requires you to have built the snowman and then built the snow brute. So
Yeah.
like nothing. This doesn't really fit in my eyes in the big spell mage package. You got to really invest a lot of mana before it becomes a serious big spell.
Mhm.
So yeah, overall, can I convince you? Can I, it's not actually a horrible card. Like it's not an unplayable card, right?
I'm thinking it's pretty unplayable at this point.
Okay, we can stick it in the meme slash pack filler idea. But
Yeah.
I'm definitely slightly like at least slightly optimistic about it. Big spell mage is probably not working in this expansion. I would have to see some crazy stuff. Okay, moving along. Okay, so Demon Hunter got 3 cards this time around, and we're about to do all 3 of them together so that we can kind of get
Yeah.
a good idea of the package at the exact same time. So Demon Hunter gets Dread Prison Glaive. This is a 1 mana Demon Hunter weapon. It's a 1 mana 1/3 with honorable kill, deal damage equal to your hero's attack to the enemy hero. So this card I have as okay good. I'm pretty high on this card.
Yeah.
Mainly okay. Go ahead.
I think this card's really nice because it doesn't develop really. It it pressures your opponent while also removing their own pressure from their board. Like
Mm-hmm.
basic basically pressure face, remove pressure from your face
Yeah.
with this honorable kill effect.
Yeah. Definitely one of the other things that's really strong in the game besides removal while developing is removal
Yeah.
while burning. Because I mean, that's exactly what Soul Demon Hunter did. Removal while burning. And Dread Prison Glaive is definitely a good removal while burning card. Um, Demon Hunter also very very easily capable of manipulating the exact attack stat that it has. It can definitely get, I mean, easily get up to 2 attack with the hero power. 3 attack is like Chaos Strikes or Fury. And so overall, what I'm trying to say is that it's very easy to proc this honorable kill, and therefore it's probably very easy to efficiently kill off an opponent's minion while dealing damage to their face. And this is a really strong stat line also for a 1 mana weapon. It's actually less than Light's
Yeah.
Justice, but for 1 mana weapon with this effect, it's definitely a very strong stat line. So I'm definitely very high on this. What do you think of the rating?
Okay, good.
Okay, so you're with me on the same page.
Yeah.
It's not straight up good because the most likely deck to run this would be like an aggro demon hunter, but we haven't
Which
really
isn't
seen
a
an aggro
tech
demon hunter.
as of now.
Say again?
Aggro Demon Hunter hasn't been seen for a while, not since Dark Moon Fair. So
Yeah, it's definitely also still capable of manipulating its attack stat because it definitely got the new, or now it's not new, but like what was it called? Gunnar Glazesmith. Gunnar Glazesmith, yeah. This gives 3 attack, so it's kind of your 3 attack and then a Stilt Stepper. Yeah,
yeah,
Stilt Stepper. Oh, Stilt
there's
Stepper
also
is like your
Furies.
4 attack. Fury, yeah, Fury. What am I missing here? I'm
It's
missing the T.
still
Stilt Stepper. Yeah, this gives you 4 attack. This also rewards you for playing low cost cards, which
yeah,
Dread Prison Glaive definitely is. Yeah, so like it really synergizes with the idea of an aggro demon hunter, but yeah, aggro demon hunter hasn't been seen. But we'll see that with the other two cards coming up. We will see some maybe an aggressive Demon Hunter actually form around that instead. But for now, this is okay, good. Right. Okay, moving on. So the other Demon Hunter cards are Token Demon Hunter related. Yeah, take it away.
Fields of Strife, 2 mana rare Demon Hunter card. Uh,
Spell.
your minions have +1 attack, lasts 3 turns. This is Demon Hunter's objective card for this expansion, which is this set's gimmick card, which are spells that leave on have a lasting effect for 3 turns.
Hmm.
Your minions have one. This is a very strong effect. Think of it like Void Touched Attendant.
Yeah, Void Touch Attendant's a good way to think about it. Um, Mainly because +1. I was thinking more of Sow the Soil. +1
Mhm.
attack. I'm not sure this is a very strong effect because Sow the Soil isn't quite a good card, and one of its the option you're gonna select most of the time is +1 attack. So Sow the Soil, I'm gonna give +1 attack a roughly 0 points, like 3, like maybe like a 0.75 mana evaluation over 3 turns. 0.75 times 3 is 2.25 mana. This is a very fair card if we evaluate that way. Um, so I'm not really feeling it.
Yeah.
I'm on the, let's see, I'm on the okay. I'm on the okay side. Okay rating for this card. I don't think it's
Yeah.
bad because Demon Hunter's tokens, they generally all have rush, coordinated strike, expendable
Yeah.
performers. Yeah, coordinated strike and
Uh,
expendable
the
performers.
Wild Command the Illidari.
Yeah, in Wild Command the Eldari. I think that's rotated, right? Command.
Yeah.
That's not in standard. Yeah, no, that's not in standard. Yeah. So all the token Demon Hunter Fell Guardians has taunt, so like your opponent
Yeah.
has to run into the +1 attack stat. Yeah. So I'm not sure that this is a strong card, but it's definitely synergistic with what the token Demon Hunter tokens are doing. Um,
Yeah.
And you'll notice that when in the last episode, Taco and I were really down on Token Demon Hunter because you needed to trade your tokens away. But we'll see, like right after this, there's actually a payoff. There's a really, really strong payoff for trading your tokens away. So I'm a lot less down on Field of Strife. Otherwise, I would call this a straight up bad card. But Field of Strife and Flag Runner are probably going to. Field of Strife is probably going to get a non-bad rating. I think it's at least okay.
Yeah.
And Flag Runner is probably going to get slightly upgraded in the future. We'll do a re-review episode where we kind of shift everything a little
We'll
bit.
do a revisit.
Yeah, we'll definitely be doing a
Yeah.
revisit. For now, wait, what'd you say? You said it was straight up bad or something? I don't actually
No,
remember.
I said it was. No, I said I was leaning okay with this card. I liked it. It's a very strong fact. It synergizes a package that already exists.
Hmm. I'm willing to go okay. How do you
Well,
feel about that?
yeah, I'm good with straight up okay.
All right, sweet. Moving on to the exciting card, the payoff card for trading all your tokens away. This is actually one of the better. I think this is the best payoff that has ever been printed for a token Demon Hunter. Um,
A
13 mana,
giant.
Urzul Giant. This is a 13 mana Demon Hunter minion, and it is an 8/8. It costs 1 less for each friendly minion that died this game. It's also a demon, and that is relevant because of philosophy, being able to copy it. Um, it's you can't I cannot give this card the straight up good rating because I don't think this package is complete, but also I don't think it can see play right now. But I think it's an
Yeah.
okay good card, and I'm very very optimistic about this card. This is a very
Yeah,
very strong
I'm
payoff.
very optimistic about that. We know giants are incredibly strong, with the most recent showing being Handlock.
Yeah, Handlock is able to generate. I mean, Handlock's playing like 4 giants or something. Like they're playing the Flesh Giants, Anetheron,
5.
Tamsin. And what do you mean? What do you mean 5 giants? Oh, Knolls. You're referring to Knolls,
Yeah.
the Goldshire Knolls. Yeah, they're playing like 5 or 6 giants a game, and at some point, the giants just kind of overwhelm you. They're going more for a quantity of giants. Um, type of playstyle, and you can definitely replicate that with Philosophy onto Urzul Giant. Philosophy being, let me just flash on screen just so.
which is a 1 mana fell spell from Skullman's Academy that duplicates your lowest cost demon outcast. Give it +1/+1.
Yeah, so most of the token Demon Hunter tokens will probably not come in the form of a minion. They're usually spells that summon a lot of tokens on one go. So you're gonna see a lot of spells in the deck, but also yeah, being able to sacrifice them really easily. And Urzul Giant being able to come down for you sacrificing those is a really really strong thing. More specifically, I wanted to reference arena stats here. Expendable Performers is actually an amazing arena card. It is actually a really, really good arena card. Expendable. Let me flash this on screen again. This is apparently a near. It's either a premium or a near. No, it's actually premium. It's a premium arena card. Really, really strong. 14 damage split however you want is egregiously powerful in arena. Especially
Yeah,
if you don't always need to trade off every single one of your tokens afterwards. So this is what I want to say is this card is actually a very individually strong card. It just never had a deck for it, and Urzul Giant and Expendable Performers is a very strong package together. At the
and
very
going
minimum,
back to Fields of Strife, this can also be even better removal.
yeah, Field of Strife is really nuts with this card. I mean, Field of Strife with this card can easily take down like, well, that's like 28 damage on removal, rushing removal. It could take down like
It can take out
several
like a whole
giants
hand lock
from,
board.
yeah, a whole handlock giants board. So just yeah, I'm really really optimistic about this card. Um, Urzul Giant specifically being 13 mana, I don't think is that far off. Like it's not that hard to reduce this down to a very reasonable cost. So yeah, it's definitely a strong, really ridiculously strong payoff. But I
Yeah,
just can't put it in good just because we don't have an existing token Demon Hunter
an
idea.
existing token deck. Yeah,
Yeah, it's also just a deck that has always historically not performed well. So
mm.
it's just so hard to say that it will, but I want to see it. I want to see it. Okay, moving on. There you go.
Capture Gold Tooth Mine, 2 mana druid spell. Choose one, draw your lowest cost card, or draw your highest cost card. This is actually a card that I was looking for when Vandar Stormpipe was revealed with a tutor for your lowest cost card. It doesn't make Vandar good, but it is synergistic with Vandar's style of play, which is playing Vandar very early to cheat out your gigantic threats.
So what's the rating?
It's all. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say it's okay. It's just very okay. Uh, this can just fit in any druid because it's decent tutor. You can this Anaconda druid could get this to just grab Anaconda.
Oh no, no. I think you misunderstood the card. It's not tutor your lowest minion. It's tutor your lowest card.
Oh,
Yeah,
now I am a lot more negative on this then.
yeah, you seem to be really dead set on this Vandar idea, but it's just lowest cost card, so it probably will draw you a Lightning Bloom. I think that
Yeah,
is
I am
probably
a
the strongest.
lot more negative on
Yeah,
this is bad.
yeah, it's very likely to draw you a Lightning Bloom. I think most Druid decks are interested in cutting Innervate and just kind of soloing in on a. If most decks that are trying to run Capture Cold Tooth Mine will cut the Innervate and run just Lightning Bloom. I don't actually think this is a very like good card in our current Druid decks because it draws a comparison to Guess the Weight, and Guess the Weight is very
Yeah,
capable of
and guess
drawing
the way
two
draws
cards.
too.
Yeah, and this only draws one. It is a tutor, which is a good thing, but a 2 mana tutor one card is not a very good conversion, I think. So
Yeah,
I would roughly equate drawing one card, just straight up drawing one card, to be slightly underneath 1 mana in terms of value, maybe like point 0.7 mana, 0.75 mana, and then maybe tutoring a card brings it up to like 1 mana or like 1.25 mana. It never really touches the 2 mana point for me, so I believe this card is very. But there's also flexibility with this card. You can either tutor your lowest or highest card depending on the situation.
Yeah.
So that brings this card more up to maybe 1.5 mana. But that means I think this card is overcosted. So I'm actually really low on this card. I think it's actually okay bad. I think it's
It's okay bad. It's
overshadowed.
okay bad to me now that I realize it's card and not minion.
Yeah, the how you would tutor Vandar for this is you would. I mean, it would actually straight up tutor for the other copy of Capture Cold Tooth Mine. So more likely than it'll tutor for Vandar. So yeah, nothing really. Yeah, nothing really fits for this to me. And this is definitely. Is it likely to see play in the future? No, I don't want to say that. We've
Yeah.
evaluated it.
You know.
I think it's overpriced.
I
So
think Druid just has better options.
for now, yeah. I was referring to post rotation, but I think that's too far of a way to really evaluate. So let's move on to the Paladin Legendary. The other Paladin Legendary that isn't Cariel the hero is Satan the Scarlet, a 3 mana 2/2 Paladin minion with Rush. Whenever this minion gains attack or health, double that amount wherever this is. So that wherever this is implies that you double your hand buffs, you double your field buffs, you double your deck buffs. The deck buffs, I don't really think Paladin has any deck buffs outside of Invigorating Sermon, so that's not really relevant. The hand
Yeah.
buffs, Paladin has quite a lot of hand buffing at this moment with Bannerman and the Jewel Kit. This is a rush minion as well, so it's very good with hand buff. And also, field buff is relevant because of Hand of Adals and Libram of Wisdoms. And what I think is the personal best usage of it is Blessing of Authority. So
Yeah.
I think this is actually straight up a good card. I think most paladins are interested in running this nowadays.
Yeah, I
Um,
think you could slot this into Paladin.
yeah, you could just stick it right in. Rush minions, especially with a lot more stats, really good. Doubling is a really strong word. It's a very strong effect to have on a lot of cards. We've seen a lot of cards that double things kind of break the game, or
Velen.
display a lot of strength. Velen, yeah, Velen, Morag Artificer. Let's see, also Bran and also Baron Rivendare. These are all really strong cards across history. They've enabled quite a lot of things. Satan the Scarlet is the enabler for like these buffs, and also okay. So here's the thing: it doesn't actually give you 2 Libram of Wisdoms. It just increases the amount that 1 Libram of Wisdom buffs you. I think
Yeah.
that was a confusion that people were having in the Discord. No, it doesn't give you 2 Libram Wisdoms. But okay, I want to really hone in on the Blessing of Authority like interaction with this, in that it's a rush minion, so the turn you play it, it's not going to be able to attack heroes anyway. Blessing of Authority landing on it is going to make it an 18/18 rushing minion. And then
Which is
also,
very hard to remove
yeah,
for most classes other than Warlock or Priest.
or Rogue with hard removal. But yeah, it's going to
Or
slam
Warrior.
into a minion, destroy it, and then it's going to be 18 like and a lot of health. It's going to be 18 attack and a whole bunch of health. And then the turn right after, you can play Battlegrounds Battlemaster and then just kill your opponent from like 30. And I think that
Yeah.
alone of an idea is like really egregiously powerful. Definitely the stealth paladin that VS had put out the other day is definitely interested in already running this Satan, the Scarlet paladin. Yeah, we got 5 paladin decks right here. Paladin's doing sweet in this meta, and quite a few of these paladin decks are probably interested in running it. You can definitely find cuts for this. Mr. Smite probably, yeah, not needed. Conviction, probably also not needed when you're making an 18/18. So yeah, there's definitely cuts for this in the Authority Stealth Paladin. There's Seeker Paladin's probably interested in running this because it's also running. No, it's not running Blessing of Authority, but it could run that package. And I mean, that's really aggressive. Libram Paladins, all of these decks run Bannerman at the very least. So at least you can expect this to be a 3 mana 4/4 rush, which is not bad.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me look down. Yeah, I mean, all these decks are also running Hand of Adal, so that's an option. Most of these decks are also running. Most of the Libram decks are running Noble Mount. Yeah, yeah. I don't really see this card being bad at all. So we're gonna stick it straight up and good. I think we agreed on that.
Yeah.
Okay, moving along. I also gave you the Priest card because I felt like you also wanted to speak on it. As your main
Yeah.
class.
One mana priest spell, Shadow or Devour. Choose a shadow spell. Choose a minion that steals one health from all other minions. So, as me and Jared discussed earlier, not on this on the recording, but this is a minion, so it can choose your opponent's minion. So, a use case that a lot of people haven't seen is that you can against, say, like the token demon hunter that has been
Revealed.
ramping up in support. Uh, you can just target one of their tokens, and it eats up all the other tokens, making it a much less threatening board. And now, for the more obvious use case, you can create a very threatening minion on your board while removing threats from your opponents.
Right.
I think this is a very good card.
Do you think it's good, straight up?
Uh,
Because,
I'm leaning good, okay, good to good. Yeah, is my rating for this.
yeah, if you say it's good, that means you think it sees play in Shadow Priest. And I'm not sure it sees play in Shadow Priest. I'm not absolutely positive. I've personally got an okay rating for this. It's definitely you're definitely able to use this as a board clear. Ideally, you use it on a minion that you're playing the turn of. So I'm feeling it's like it's not that efficient of a board clear. It is a 1 mana arcane. It's basically a 1 mana arcane explosion, which is it's better than arcane explosion in that sense. But it's not. And okay, you also said something that I think I disagree with. You said it makes one threatening minion. It actually doesn't make one threatening minion. It makes one healthy minion, but it doesn't really do anything with the attack stats, so it doesn't really make that minion a high threat. That minion has to be a high threat to begin with, which Void Touched Attendant, for example, is a high threat, and also Gandling is a very high threat.
Yeah,
So there is definitely good targets for you to land this on in a Shadow Priest, but
it's
what it
just
would
not
do,
raised dead.
it's just not Raised Dead, and it's not Void Shard, which is something they're considering re-including in the deck for like burning reasons.
Oh no, this is no. You add this instead of the Mancrit combo.
The Mancrit combo, the Thrive, yeah,
Yeah,
the Mancrit combo is really
you
good
add
though.
this.
I'm not positive.
I don't love the Mancrit
You don't like
combo.
it?
Thrive is very dead to me, and also Mancrit is. I don't like playing a 3/4.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you
I
play priest. I don't. So I'm gonna trust you on that one. We can definitely. Yeah. Okay. We can consider replacing the Mancre combo with this. It does also increase your shadow spell density,
yeah,
just for the Defy Slepper.
lever.
But this is a very reactive. I think this is not exactly what. How? Okay. Enlighten me. Do you fall behind on board a lot? I don't think you should with Shadow Priest. That's just game over usually, right?
Uh, you actually can. You don't fall behind on board a lot, but this also, uh, it really can just help your dominance on board. Because you can do this while they have,
Then go
like,
face.
say they have a
Mm.
couple. Yeah, you can go face, and then suck all the minions that are about to be board cleared, and you have a very healthy minion instead of very tiny minions that can be, say, soul rended.
Okay. So, I'm trying. I'm really trying to break this down. You make one tall guy, man. It's not. I'm not really optimistic in this in a control priest. I'll say that. So like, if that
Yeah,
ever returns, I'm not really feeling this because it's not. It's. I mean, it's just a low. It's just a low number in terms of being a board clear. So it's probably getting outclassed by Condemn, and yeah,
yeah.
that's already not good for Devour. So if we're talking about yeah, so it's probably I would see this most likely in a Shadow Priest. So Shadow Priest, how optimistic are you for it? Would you straight up
I'm
run this?
actually nice. I would definitely experiment with this.
Okay,
Uh,
so if you would experiment with this, and I'm pretty more in the okay area, how do you feel about just being okay good?
okay, good. Yeah.
All right, moving on to Frozen Buckler, which is another Warrior Frost spell. This is a 2 mana Warrior Frost spell. I'm really confused why they're printing Frost spells for Warrior. I don't know. It didn't really feel like a Frosty type of class, but
it's a very frosty type of expansion.
It is. Why does Warrior get them though? I wonder. But yeah, anyway, Frozen Buckler, 2 mana, gain 10 armor. At the start of your next turn, lose 5 armor. So
It's Ironhide. It's,
yeah, this card is bad. This card's really bad.
yeah, it's bad. I would not play this. If you needed that amount of armor, you just play a heavy plate,
Yeah, heavy plate. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Heavy
and
plate's just a bad card.
heavy plate has the luxury of being a tradable card, so you can just get rid of it when you don't need it.
Yeah, these like straight up gaining armor cards are generally pretty bad. Mainly because they don't really develop your board or they don't really develop your game plan. It's really it's just a very defensive mechanic. It's more about denying your opponent's game plan. And heavy plate did see play in Control Warrior extensively throughout this expansion, but it wasn't. It was never really because gaining armor is good for you. It's because of Garrote Rogue being able to only do a certain amount of damage, and then Control Warrior was able to out armor that damage with things like Heavy Plate, their hero power, and Rancor. So Heavy Plate was just a meta call more so than an actual good card. So
Check
Frozen,
card.
it was on the level of a tech card for sure. But Frozen Buckler is a much worse Heavy Plate. Yeah, only gaining 5 armor. I
Yeah.
mean, the only time this is better than Heavy Plate. I mean, oh, outside of the fact that it's 2 mana instead of 3, the only time this is better is when your opponent already has like more like 10 damage on board and they just kind of rip through the armor anyway and then you lose no armor the following turn. But that's not. I don't think that's a significant difference to make up for the tradable keyword on heavy plate. So if you ever
Yeah.
needed an armor card, heavy plate is definitely the go-to. And you're rarely going to be needing an armor card. So yeah, this I'm going to go with bad.
Yeah.
All right, last card. I saved a very cute one for you as well.
Yeah. Yes, my baby.
Go ahead.
Popsy Cooler, 3 mana, 3/3 neutral hard, Death Rattle freeze 2 random enemy minions. It's, well, it's very cute filler. I, I'm not going to put this in meme and filler because I could actually see this somewhere.
Where do
Like,
you
I
see
could,
this?
I don't know, but it's just nice Death Rattle stall.
That's bad, isn't it? That's a bad thing. I love.
It's
Okay, okay.
bad.
I'm sorry. Let me
It,
apologize to Popsicle Cooler. It is cute. It is cute. I want to say that it's
yeah,
cute, but I don't think it's good. I think it's actually straight up bad because having a freeze on a death rattle isn't good. And it's also random, like where it lands. So you're not always hitting what you need to hit, and also it's slow. Like you can't get the freeze the turn of.
I may have been blinded by the cuteness. Yeah.
I think you're blinded by the cuteness. It is very cute. I love it. It's awesome. I love the name Popsicooler. It's a fridge. And it's a
I
popsicle.
just really want this to be playable.
Yeah, I do. I do too. I do too. I just like it. It's cool. But the most likely deck that's going to care about the Death Rattle is Death Rattle Demon Hunter. I don't think a Death Rattle Rogue
And
is
they
going to
don't want it.
want to play a Popsicooler into their Forsaken Lieutenant. Maybe. Wait, let me think about that for a second.
Actually, yeah, it's stall for rogue.
It is stall for Rogue, but I don't think Rogue is interested. I mean, okay, the alternative is you play into Ruby and Egg and make a 4/4 and rush 2 damage. I think that is significantly better than a Popsicooler. I don't think you want to stall in Rogue. Yeah, exactly. I'm not really buying this in a Death Rattle Rogue. In a Death Rattle Demon Hunter, I'm also not buying this because they also got very lean and mean and more lethal in Stormwind. They included.
Yeah.
They just went down to a more aggressive package, with your Illidari Inquisitor coming out on turn 6 with Raging Fell Screamers. So yeah, this is not. This doesn't really synergize with that game plan. It's a very defensive minion and it's much worse than the other 3 drops that you're pulling. I'm going to pull up the Death Rattle Demon Hunter list real quick to see. The other 3 drops are really really good. I remember that mainly because they are Fell Rattler, Devouring Ectoplasm, Razormane, Razorfen Beastmaster. I mean, this is the one you want to pull out, and I guess the weakest one is Death's Head Cultist. Maybe is it better than Death's Head Cultist? It is probably better at saving
It's
health.
better to. It's more aggressive. It's got more aggressive stats. That's had
It
cultists
does.
too.
It does. The taunt is not as relevant in the death in this one. Maybe. You know what? Okay. I'll upgrade it from bad to at least. How do you feel about okay bad?
Yeah, no, that was my original
Sweet.
feel of okay back.
Yeah. It does look like it has a place in the Death Rattle Demon Hunter as an upgrade to
Yeah,
Death's Head Cultist at least. Because
cultist.
once upon a time, this deck had a real issue with its health total because it was kind of just getting burnt down. That was back in the time when it
Yeah,
had to run like N'Zoth to outvalue control priests and kind of just run big greedy cards. But now that control priest has left the meta and we're more face hunter centric or taunt druid centric, yeah, it's gotten a lot leaner and meaner. So Death's Head Cultist is just kind of the best 3-drop death rattle. In that slot, it's
yeah,
the remaining best 3-drop, I believe. So now that we have something that conceivably is better than it, I'm definitely higher on it. Yeah, this is Death Rattle 3-drops. I mean, it's quite literally running every single one of them. So
yeah.
definitely Pops Cooler gives it another option. The fact that it's better than Death's Head Cultist, though, allows me... how do you feel about moving up to OK? Because Death Rattle Demon Hunter is not a bad deck.
Yeah. Dude, my
It's just
boy.
underplayed, right?
Yeah,
Maybe I was blinded by the cuteness in the reverse direction. I was like, it's cute, so it probably can't be good. Because I'm definitely feeling like we should bump this up even further. Because technically it's following the criteria for being a good card flat out, right?
yeah. Do we?
I think we do.
Do we?
Yeah, no,
We
for sure.
do.
It's definitely in
Yeah,
Death Rattle Demon Hunter. Over the Death Head, yeah, for sure. It's over the Death Head Cultist.
yeah,
It saves more health, right? Because if you freeze two things, it's very likely to save
yeah,
4 health is what Death Head Cultist restores.
yeah.
4 health, yeah. Huh. Okay, yeah, no, I feel it. I feel it. If N'Zoth ever returns into the deck, this is a mech with a Death
Meh.
Rattle. That's actually a big thing too. For if we ever need to get greedier again. Interesting. That's cool. That's cool. I kind of dig that the fact that we started off in meme pack filler and just slowly moved it up. As we thought about it.
The baby's climbed up.
It shows that card reviewing is hard and it's not.
Yeah,
It's difficult to really say. Okay,
yeah.
looking at today's tier list, and I'm gonna leave this on screen for a bit for anyone who just wants to see where everything is. How do you feel about where everything has landed? Do you feel anything is egregiously off?
I'm pretty happy with it. Like previous, yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Where we've like left everything off. I think my feelings on cards have been like uh, decently represented on this side. Your feelings have been decently represented on the sides of cards too. So I think this is a good place to leave it.
Sweet. Yeah, we can leave it here. Um, I just wanted to
Yeah,
note that we started off this episode with 3 cards in the okay, good, and good tiers total, and we've ended with quite a lot more. So either Taco is really a pessimistic guy, or you're a very optimistic woman. So I was gonna say person. I'm gonna have to cut that out. I don't want to say woman, but yeah, you're
woman.
you're an optimistic woman maybe compared to Taco being a pessimistic guy.
Yeah. Also, too, no. Okay, good had one card by the way.
Yeah, it just gained like 5 cards from this.
Yeah,
But it's also partially because of the fact that I'm not sure Scabs will see play. Um, it's tough to give cards the
yeah,
okay good rating because it's just like we think these will see play in the future. That's kind of what it's saying. In this upcoming expansion, we think these will see play, which is a very tough thing to
yeah.
say. But yeah, I'm willing to go on the limb for these especially.